We are back. Double your pleasure, double your fun. It's Disqualified Opinions. You always know we talk about everything on the show, not just sports, but we got to hit you with that music. It's been a while since we did a music segment, and we got a very, very, very special segment that we thought of. Rouse, I think you came up with this segment, so it's only right that you introduce it as you always do. Let the people know what we talking about.
Me and the man across from me right here, we just was having an interesting conversation. I was actually listening to how T-Pain dropped a mixtape. Well, it's not really a mixtape, but an album of remixes that he had back in the day on Apple Music, and I was listening to I'm in Love with a Stripper remix, and it brought back a lot of nostalgia for me at the time. And then we thought of the idea of naming some of those like eras of music in which we feel as though changed how artists created music from that point forward. A lot of times there'll be a person who comes out with something, and then from that point forward, everybody copies them. And it just changes everything. So each of us are going to kind of go through our top three, listen them from 3 to 1, eras of music in which we have lived in. It is a disclaimer. We do want to pick eras in which we were able to experience the music, articulate the music, and it had an effect upon our lives at that time. Outside of hearing it, I do feel as though if you lived in it, if you were out partying and doing those things while the music was a part of it, it definitely changes your perception on it. I love 70s music, 80s music, early 90s music, but I can't really speak on it to the depth of some of these things in which I can recollect the time and what I was doing with these things as well. We do have a list of 9. If there are any that we miss, or if you want to rank yours in the comment below, please let us know. But some of the ones we came up with was the trap era. So that'd be T.I., Gucci, Jeezy. They were kind of like the entrepreneurs of that era. The dance era can be broken apart in phases. Soulja Boy, Kate Camp,
Franchise
Boys,
D4L.
all of those kind of different ones. The crunk era is something that DC came up with. We all know how that was in Atlanta and the South and what that did. The drill era came from Rel. That was something similar to just like that Chicago bass and just that dirty just rap that you see a lot of the time. Mumble, that's his man Migos and all of them.
Greatest rap group of all time, America. Migos, baby.
Lies.
Bigger than the Beatles.
Lies. Gen Z, which is y'all new people. That's all I really got to say.
Like, share, and subscribe, you young folks. You on YouTube all the time. Take your mom's phone and subscribe right now.
The mixtape era, which is another big one amongst us. Mixtapes really changed the game forever. That's
Back when you had to go to a website.
Yep.
Shout out to Dat Piff.
Live mixtapes.
Spinrilla.
Live Wire.
LimeWire put
Frostwire.
viruses on all our computers at some point in life.
Indeed it did.
The remix era, as I said previously, and then that lyrical era that we had, kind of coming from like the hip hop is dead and people showing that there were still people who could lyrically just give bars. So we're each going to give our top 3. If somebody has something that I didn't just name, that's fine as well. Just going from 3 to 1. I'll go first. I think my number 3 is the mixtape era. I'll save that. I'm sorry. I think number 3 is the remix era. I think the remix era was an amazing era. It's one of those eras that I wish would come back. We had songs like I'm in Love with a Stripper. The One Blood remix had more people on it than any song I've ever heard of in my
20
life.
minutes or something?
That song was
crazy.
so long that it was just so many people. That was just a fun era. I'm So Hood remix. It was just everybody was hopping on songs together.
Throw Some D's remix. Walk It Out remix. Some of the greatest remixes and
Shout out
verses
to
by
Three
Andre
Stacks.
3 Stacks.
Shout out to
Exactly.
3 Stacks.
Yes.
I just think it was an amazing time for artists. Everybody was on each other's tracks, and it was just entertaining. It was nice when you had a song that was already a banger, and then you just heard all these other artists jumping on top of it, pulling a Jacquees, and putting their own spin on it. That's my number 3.
So my number 3, I will have to go with the lyrical.
Wesley.
I chose lyrical as my third. I mean, it didn't have such a big influence on me, but I definitely enjoyed it. Just listening to actual lyrics, hearing people storytelling and things like that. I didn't know I would be into things like that, especially growing up. My father used to listen to stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want to hear that, But as I got older,
You wanted to hear that?
yeah, I want to hear
I think
I
for
think
me,
that has the most replayability.
I think for me, the lyrical era started when we were younger. So the whole mid '90s through early 2000s was
Agreed.
lyrical, and then it had a resurgence once Kendrick and Cole and Drake and all those guys came back out. But I think it's a diverse era that is not over really, because I think lyrics are timeless. But we'll get to that in a second.
One I thought of, not saying it's on my list, but Chop the Screw era. Mike Jones, Paul Wall,
Hated that.
all those people. I mean, they still listen to that in Houston.
Hated that.
I have nothing against my good folks in Houston. Shout out to the beautiful
I just don't want to
Houston
hear
hotties. I mean, it's a thing.
It's what they do. They do love it.
Yes,
They love it.
but Tippin' on 4-4 is still one of the best songs of my lifetime. I don't care. 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low because you know Mike Jones about to blow. Yep, I still
The
remember
fact that he really put his real phone number in a song is always a banger to me, because I called it. I'm gonna say it. I called it. I wanted to say it.
Every
was
time
real.
somebody dropped their number, I called it. Except for
Right.
Big Sean. Big Sean just did it on his last album.
Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't call Big Sean. I'm too old for that now.
But
But
Mike Jones.
when
funny
Alicia
story.
Keys did it, oh, I was blowing
Facts.
that number up.
Funny story. You know, Mike Jones had to cut that phone off because he was getting too many calls.
I bet.
From that.
He was one of the
from that-
hottest at the time, just off of those strength of
Yeah,
that.
him and Chameleonaire. Chameleonaire. Shout out to you, Chameleonaire.
I hate
You had a
Chameleonaire.
one-hit wonder and you flipped it. Now you're one of the richest people that people don't know about.
Yeah,
Chameleonaire.
facts.
That first album wasn't that bad, but
I
shout out to
hate
Paul Wall,
Chameleonaire.
Murray and the Black Queen. Smart man.
Trying to catch me
I feel
riding
like
dirty.
Byron was sipping some lean before this conversation.
But number 3 for me is probably going to be the mixtape era, because I remember waiting at 12 o'clock
Or mixtape drop.
till mixtape to drop, being high school, early college days on that Piff. And then when it had the app on the phone, you download it straight to your phone. Back before I even had an iPhone, really. The live mixtapes, the like we said, Frostwire, LimeWire.
Been realer.
Back when they actually sold mixtapes in downtown locker room, which is a local thing here on the East Coast, you could actually buy mixtapes. That's funny. Or people would sell them out of their car or at gas stations. You could literally buy a mixtape or a CD with mixes on it of multiple songs also, which is a mixtape.
That's an era too, though. The CD era. That was a back when we was talking about LimeWire, when we used to go through and just make a CD.
Yeah, the internet kind of killed the CD era.
Shout out to
We'll get to that.
some albums, Nellyville, Get Rich or Die Trying, some classics that I still own to this day. I will hold on to.
Get Rich or Die Trying is one of the greatest debut albums of all
Ever.
time.
Yeah.
I'm
I
standing
think
on
it
that.
sold the
I stay
most.
saying I don't think nobody came out harder than 50.
11.5 million
Probably-
sold.
Maybe DMX. Maybe DMX.
But
I
he
give
did
you
go.
that. I
He
give
went
you that.
diamond his first album, but 3 for me is mixtape.
50
He also put
came
somebody
out
out the game.
50 came out.
Ja Rule never
hard.
recovered from 50 Cent.
Can we get a Ja Rule versus 50 verses? I'ma say it. I don't care. We got Gucci and Jeezy.
Somebody gonna get shot.
Nobody got shot at Gucci and Jeezy.
Yeah,
Gucci
that's
and
different.
Jeezy both agreed to that. Ja
Yeah.
and 50 are not agreeing to anything. But
50
my
Cent
number
still
three,
trolls Ja Rule to this day.
And Ja Rule still
this day.
trolls back.
Like Michael Jordan.
my number 3, and I feel like the most underrated era to me is the Crunk era. I think that Lil Jon Eastside Boys, when Sierra first came out, like that 03 to 06 type era from Atlanta. Yeah.
No, Lord John.
club.
Young Bloods.
Young
Young
Bloods
Bloods.
gets thumped in the club.
Yeah. So yeah, Young Bloods came out with that whole little thing they had. I just think that was a vibe. Atlanta kind of started away with that, and that really took Atlanta from the guys like T.I. and Ludacris to like everybody from Atlanta started blowing up once the Crunk era exploded.
Luda was kind of crunk with the move, bitch.
Luda
Yeah,
one of
that's-
the underrated rappers of all time.
He is,
Yeah, that's a fact.
but his numbers are not underrated
That's a
at
fact.
all.
That's a fact.
So, yeah, Crunk era for me is number 3, and I think it's the most underrated era of my lifetime. Number 2, all right, I'm gonna keep it going. I struggled with the mixtape era and the remix era because they kind of felt one and the same to me. But instead of those two, I went trap. My coming of age years, Jeezy is in my favorite top 5 to this day. Jeezy, Gotti, Gucci, Boosie, that whole era from my maybe like age 12 to age 19 or so. That was pretty much what I listened to the majority of those years, and that I feel like being able to tell stories about the drug lifestyle or the entrepreneurship of pharmaceuticals illegally is a skill.
Allegedly.
That's
It's a
definitely
skill.
a skill.
It's a skill, and I think some people have excelled at it, and there's that.
Damn, you kind of make me rethink my list a little bit, because that was definitely some fun
You want
times.
me to go?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, cause I personally agree with DC. No, so to me, I couldn't really separate trap and mixtape.
It's kind of one and the same. A little bit of.
Well, no,
can
but I
agree.
think the first thing I think of when I think mixtape is
Wayne.
Wayne.
That's
That's
why-
not
that's why-
trap.
Yeah, but that's when I got introduced to Gucci.
'Cause all of them had
and
mixtapes.
Jeezy
That's why-
and
that's
T.I.
why I
got
It was
introduced
through
to Jeezy
mixtape.
when TM101 came out. That was a full-fledged album, as well as Boys in the Hood. That was a little trap vibe too. So that kind of introduced
Very
me
underrated
to trap
group, by the
music.
way.
Yeah,
Yes,
shout out to Jody
it was-
Breeze.
yeah.
Shout out to Jody Breeze. He's
But,
the only one besides Jeezy that I rock with.
No Young Jock.
I couldn't really separate
Jock
the
wasn't
two,
in-
but
Wasn't Lil Scrappy in there too? No.
I had the I still can't. I'm gonna just end up going with. Yeah, I'm gonna go with trap. Trap is my second era of music. Shit, I still listen to trap. Like I don't think that's gonna go. Trap is just another word for shit that happens in the street that we can relate to.
Indeed.
You
Maybe
know-
you may not have personally been through these experiences, but you may have seen them. Or
Exactly.
you may know somebody that's been through that.
It's just things that we've personally seen or things that we've personally heard. Like these are things that we go through on every day. Stuff that we can relate to. We can't really relate to I'm walking on sunshine and
And
you
pop
know,
music.
yeah,
Katy
you know,
Perry and
making my way downtown. Like, you know,
That's
like
my shit though. I can't even lie.
Taylor Swift, Katy Perry. That ain't my life.
I don't really
Exactly.
listen to none of those.
purple
I
unicorns and whatnot.
I struggle with mixtape and trap too, which is why
Shout out
I
to Katy
couldn't
Perry.
put-
She do got some hits though.
Facts.
I had an issue when I was originally. I actually went the opposite of y'all. I put mixtape over trap. To me, the mixtape era was just crazy. Lil Wayne. It was just Lil Wayne.
By the
Yeah.
way, Wale and Wiz Khalifa have two of the greatest mixtapes I've ever heard. But two of the greatest bodies of
Wale does have
Cushion
a
OG.
mixtape.
And
Cushion
More About
OJ
Nothing.
and More About Nothing
More
are
About
two
Nothing
of
is the best mixtape I've ever listened to in my life.
Shit, cushion on. I mean, no shit. What is
and
it?
Cole, Friday Night Lights. Those
Whew.
I think
Hey.
that mixtape era just brought a different energy out of people back when people were putting original content
Agreed.
on mixtapes.
And the other
And
reason
probably
why,
Drought 3 also in there for me.
the reason,
Dedication to.
the reason I put mixtape over trap in my list
Shit, I can't
was
feel my
because
face.
to me the mixtape era completely changed music.
That's when
Now
the
you
internet
have-
really took over.
Yeah, you have Apple Music, Tidal, and all of these things. They
Spotify.
are what they are because of the mixtape era.
Exactly.
And it's a lot of songs that these newer generations will never be able to hear because the thing about the mixtape era was you didn't have to clear samples.
That's why you
didn't
put it
have
out.
to pay anybody.
Right.
Yeah, because you weren't getting paid for
Right,
it. Nobody was
right.
getting paid for
was
these
free.
songs. People just wanted to let you know that they could put bars on anything that they touched, whether it was their verse or somebody else's verse, which is why, their song is somebody else's song, beat wise, all of that, which is why I have mixtape at 2.
So after thinking about it, I'm gonna put a lyrical at 2. Because still to this day, I'm still a lyrical guy. At the end of the day, if I'm really need to listen to some music, I'm probably gonna put on some Cole, some Kendrick, some Big Sean, some old Wale. I may even throw back to the Cushion OJ because Wiz had bars
Wiz-
back in the
Wiz-
day.
He has no bars now, but he
I
has
said back
bars
in the day. I
then.
said back in the day before he got mainstream.
Cushion OJ
I haven't
was
listened
a
to
vibe.
Wiz since probably like 2012.
And
Listen
you
to
know
Cushion
what?
OJ tomorrow. I promise you it'll change. your life.
That wasn't.
No, I'm saying you said you haven't listened to him since 2012.
No, I'm saying like I
new
haven't listened to
Wiz.
his. Yeah, I
Oh,
haven't
right.
listened to his music.
can
since
throw
2012.
Cushion OJ.
Any old Wiz is cool. The new Wiz, I'm not even down.
What is that other
Cabin
mixtape
Fever?
I love? Cabin Fever was
That was
really
like
good.
20
The first two
that
Cabin
was
Fever was
2011.
really good.
Yeah,
First
I
one was
was about to say,
2011.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I think the
Cabin Fever
second
was
one and the third one was after that.
good. Just the lyrical
Shit,
aspect.
Rolling Papers wasn't bad.
I ain't like Rolling Papers.
You ain't like Rolling Papers?
I
Too
mean,
commercial. Although
lot of bars.
the race was on Rolling Papers and that song is fire.
yeah. So shout out to the lyrical era. Still go back to it every now and then. I mean, I could even take it back to the early '90s. You know, with Hove, Nas, Big L, Big. You know,
FIFA 2 2012. That's the last
So-
time. That's the last one I listened to.
shout out to the lyrical rappers. There are a lot of great lyrical rappers out now, both male and female, that have kind of brought back the real hip hop feel of the old '90s, which is lovely. A lot of great artists out there, known and unknown, underground, mainstream, and it's good to just hear that music get played. I'm gonna go to 1. It was dance. I mean, you know, I was definitely wearing the 5X tees. Definitely had the different color white tees and different black tees.
He
And
strikes me as a Soldier fan.
Soulja Boy, one of the greatest artists, just because of his influence on the game. I'm
Super
putting-
influential,
Not
but
not
not-
saying his lyrical aspect, but his
not
ability
lyrical
at all.
to still have his music played to this day at parties and events, and how he puts stuff on YouTube, online. Just kind of just started his own dancing and
Yeah, he did start. Oh wait,
Just-
And the ringtones,
the
the YouTube.
ringtones.
To me, ringtones was Chameleonaire though. Riding Dirty was probably the most downloaded ringtone of all time.
True, but Soulja Boy blew it up multiple times over, and then YouTube, the dance,
Everybody
craze,
was doing
everything.
the dance.
Viral wasn't a thing until Soulja Boy.
Everybody was
That's
doing the
true.
dance.
That's true.
I mean, lean with it, rock with it. You can play that at a party now, and that's
The franchise boys could actually rap too, all of them.
In My White Tee,
Shit, Crime Mob too.
DJ Walk It
Facts.
Out. Like I said, the Walk It Out remix was kind of ties with the remix. One of the best remixes ever. Shout out to 3 Stacks. Jim Jones was on that. The Game was on that.
Two girls jump me like double dutches.
And I mean, I even though like the Young Jock is going down, everybody's still doing the motorcycle dance. So it's a lot of great dance music out there. if you play it, then people aren't doing it.
Yeah. People
I'm just
probably
saying if you at a
know
party.
that.
I mean, even like the kind of tied with the T-Pain thing, to buy you a drink, like Shorty snapping, all that stuff, kind of bringing it back. I mean, the dance era was just fun. I mean, you didn't have to worry about getting shot all the time in the club. It was just a fun time. People didn't have a problem, going out having a good time. It's a fun time, a simpler time, as they say. And, I kind of miss it sometimes.
Number one for me is lyrical era. I think lyrics are timeless. I think the greatest, the artists that people consider the greatest of all time are usually the most lyrical. I don't think that's a coincidence. Jay-Z, Hov, Nas, whatever your 3 is, Big, Pac, like
I just respect that you said Jay-Z twice.
exactly. It was intentional. And Sean Carter, by the way, but. Anybody you want, Wayne, like all these guys are lyrical, and that is what rap was started and founded upon.
Wayne might have the second best vocabulary out of any rapper. of all
Eminem.
time. I said second best.
Yeah.
Eminem is one.
Yeah. But I think Wayne's metaphors or similes usually, but are probably the greatest of all time. He did have a steep decline, but he shows you every so often that he still is down there somewhere.
I'm let y'all know right now. What mixtape he just
No
put
Ceilings
out
No Sales 3.
is actually kind of tough.
Oh yeah, the first like 8 songs, there's no
Fire.
missing. Yeah, it's no
Fire.
missing. That's the best Wayne
He's
in
shooting
like
like
10 years.
50% on that album. He's shooting like 50.
I think it's more than 50.
But either way, the lyrics are to me something that people can relate to forever, and it's always going to be meaningful. It always is going to impact people, especially the J. Cole storytelling, remnants of Slick Rick from way back before my time. So
So I chose number 1 is the mixtape era. Like we talked about the J. Cole's, the return of Symbols and all that, just fire, like and
that was on the warm up or the come up.
I think that's the warm up.
The return was on the warm up.
Yeah.
Grown Simba was on the come
The
up.
come up, yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be another symbol on the fall off.
Well, he had the return. It was Simba, Grown Simba. Then the return of Simba was just a simple one off,
Didn't
which
he have
was
something
crazy.
on the most recent EP too.
I don't know, premeditated murder, all of them. Just when I think of this era, I think I have a lot of memories of like standing outside of Poly listening to
Cocaine music,
Yeah,
that
you
whole
feel me?
series.
Or when Gucci dropped 3 mixtapes
It's
at
in
the
the
same
same-
time.
Writing on the
Bur-
wall.
all that.
Great Burton.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh! Woo!
Burr Russia.
and it was something else. It was
Great
another.
Burton, Burr Russia, and something else. But it
Was
was
it
a
Britain?
cold world.
No, you said Burton.
Yeah.
The
What do
EP
you
was called Lion King on Ice this time. I expected Lyrical to be my number 1.
The State versus Virgil Dave. That was an
was an
album.
album, but-
That shit was fire though.
Shout out to Guwap.
I really do love lyrical artists. It's probably one of my favorite things to listen to. I listen to Jay-Z and probably J. Cole more than any other artist.
Same.
Just on a daily basis, unless I'm bumping in my car, then it's probably like Baby. And everybody know I like Drake for real. Drake is cracking top 5. if you
Only
ask me
person who
all
can
time.
go in the verses with Jay-Z. I said it. Yep.
But to me, I have to go with my light skinned brethren over here. I think the dance era was
Of course,
just
the light skinned guys are
timeless.
dancing ass niggas. Of course.
Hey man, ladies love a man that can dance. Because if you can dance, you can do other things.
Y'all was doing the jerk and shit, wasn't y'all?
First off, we can go down this list for real. I did the Cat Daddy. Don't act like y'all wasn't out here teaching me how to Dougie out
I
here.
can't Dougie. I can't Dougie. But
You
I
was
was
wheelchair?
I was definitely on the Cat Daddy. I was definitely
act like
feline
you-
father.
Don't act like you ain't never locked shoulders with a dude next to you and swag surfed in a party.
I mean, everybody.
A dude
do
you
that.
probably ain't even know.
You ain't even have to know.
No funny
but,
stuff.
like,
I will say Swag Surf is an HBCU spiritual.
facts.
It brings people together.
It
It's
does.
provocative. It gets the people going.
I
And you know what? The dance era, back that ass up. The great Negro spiritual that it is. I'm
Yeah.
putting it in the dance era.
Like,
I don't care.
I think we
Oh,
go
yeah.
back to
That whole New Orleans.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm
That
just-
whole New Orleans bounce is
that's a whole
that's
dance
whole
thing too.
era
That's
thing,
still
yeah.
shout out to Big Frida, people like that.
songs like
Drake
Donk.
bringing it.
She got a dunk. Like all of these songs just bring out high school, middle school parties.
Soldier Boy again.
Yeah, Soldier Boy can say whatever he wants to say when it comes to this, because without Soldier Boy, we wouldn't have a lot of these artists that we have today.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
that's a fact.
For better or worse, by the way.
Facts as well. So I can't really knock them. We was all lean with it and rocking
You
with
can
it.
even give Bow Wow in there a little bit. Little Bow Wow, a couple Bow Wow
We
hits
just
in
don't
there.
know. Yeah, but I guess. I want to be like my. All right,
Bow Wow could rap though.
that's a fact. He has some bars.
My Pisces brother, shout out.
But I just think the dance era just took over. You can go back to Grind With Me by Pretty Ricky in middle school. That was probably the first song I ever got twerked on in my lifetime.
Yo,
for
listen,
real.
middle school parties you slap
Middle
different.
school parties is different, shorty.
You could say A-Town Stomp, all that, and with the little, I kind of mixed with the crunk a little bit, but it was a nice little.
That's when shorties was wearing them Sierra shorts, the cargo shorts and shit.
Back when people
Hey.
thought Sierra had a dick.
Oh yeah, I don't even know where that rumor came from.
Facts.
But hey yo, I don't. By the way, back in that time, I'm not gonna forgive y'all for wearing little Chinese slippers in public like that was acceptable. I remember y'all ladies. Y'all not getting away with
Hey
that.
yo, women had some wild ass. Remember the little light up belts that had the shit
Facts.
going across it?
Hey,
yo?
remember when they used to wear 3 polos on top of
Three,
each other?
Facts.
with like 6
Facts.
different colors.
Jersey dresses.
That
No,
shit
that was
had-
fine.
Nah,
Nah,
that shit was not fire.
That shit was fire.
That shit was not fire.
It was.
Not for
Not for
Kids.
normal chicks. Not
Yeah,
for normal
kids.
chicks.
It's
Unless
okay.
you like Megan Good, Lauren London, okay. But not these normal women. Not you average chicks. I
I think back then though, when you looked at some of the chicks that you knew, they was Megan Good and Lauren London
Alright.
at that point for real. So I might have to lean with him.
Hey, you can even throw the B2K in there. They had some bump on bump.
What's up with you and B2K and NSYNC today?
Yeah.
Hey
it's
man,
boy
you know,
band guy.
speaking of B2K, I would be
Boy band
Omarion, except my BM would not be sleeping with one of my brothers, okay?
I take Marcus Houston.
He wasn't in B2K.
I'm just gonna take Marcus Houston because I don't want to be a
okay.
part of the group.
All right. Well.
Hey man, Omarion
was
still
only
got
three
hits,
people
baby.
in
No,
B2K.
no,
Omarion
Byron
still
would
got
be
hits.
Lil Fizz.
No,
Fizzle Pop. He
no.
light skinned.
No, I ain't taking.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't sleeping with
Raul was about
nobody
to get
BMs,
beat
but-
up. Then Yo get beat up and You Got Served
You suckers got served. That movie was
Oh yeah,
trash.
he
by
did
the
get
way.
beat up and you got served.
over some drugs. They beat Yo up.
Just don't be.
That movie was
What
corny.
was yo
Let
who got
alone
touched
dance
up
again.
by Chris Stokes? Just don't be
Fit,
Raz B.
Raz B.
Don't be Raz B.
Which one of y'all Raz B, yo?
I'm over Mario.
You Fizzle Pop, bro.
But you took his girl though. No, you took.
Omarion had the girl.
Yeah, you took Omarion girl.
No, I'm not Fizz. I'm Omarion.
Well, they broke up and then she got with Fizz. That wasn't
But
he took her.
and then the Fizz is like, oh, we never was cool, but y'all was in the whole group. Anyway,
Right.
love and hip hop, all that goofiness. Anyway,
I don't watch that shit. But I just think the dance era was top tier. It's funny that none of us said Mumble or Gen Z. I don't really listen to Gen
grown
Z
for
like
that,
that,
bro.
so I can't really explain y'all artists.
what
I do-
would be Gen Z or Mumble? Don't they go hand in hand though?
Nah, because when I think of Mumble, I think of like Migos. When I think of Gen Z, I think of like
Migos got bars
Young
though.
Boy.
All
When
three
you
of
can-
Migos are nice on
When
their
you
own.
can understand, they stopped mumbling as they progressed. When they first came out, you couldn't understand.
But Zodgy was
them.
old when he came out.
When Versace first came out, I ain't know nothing they was saying.
Sachi. That's all you heard was Sachi.
It really was like
All you heard was ad libs. That was it.
Shout out to the greatest rap group of all time,
They are
Migos.
not the greatest group
Bigger
of
than
all
the
time.
Beatles, baby.
They are not.
Offset the GOAT. Shout out to. I want to be like Offset when I grow up. No more I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Offset.
Hey, that Inventador that Cardi just got him was fire.
There's
Bought-
only like 93 of them in the world, I believe.
Fellas, if you treat her right
There go Toxic Byron.
and you bring the dick every night, you can do anything in life.
Oh,
Remember I said that.
Go ahead, Toxic Byron. Close this out.
That's right, baby. Toxic BKD all 2021. Who joining me?
Nah, you about-
Hey, look, let us know what you think your favorite era was. Any ones we missed. Anything you want to include. Any songs. Any memories growing up. Anything that maybe we didn't talk about that we weren't alive for. Like, share, subscribe. Like a comment. If you want to come talk about it. We are doing our top 5 albums of 2020. I know 2020's been rough, but it's been a lot of great music during this quarantine time. And we're going to talk about it coming real soon. We're going to end the year with the top 5 albums. Be a lot of debate about that.
If you want to be a guest on Disqualified Opinions, you can hit us up on Instagram. I think it's Disqualified Opinions, or Disqualified_opinions. Don't quote me on that right now. You can send us an email, disqualifiedopinions@gmail.com. Or you can hit us up on Twitter. We are on Twitter as well, _disqualified opinions, or it's one of them is Instagram, the other one is Twitter. Just look us up. It's the same logo everywhere. Don't hit us up on Facebook. We do post our videos on Facebook. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Promoting us is free. It don't get you anything, but it don't get us anything either. We will be coming out with something very soon on Patreon to allow you guys to support us. Y'all want it to look better. Y'all want us to look better. We like y'all. Y'all love us. Let's get it popping. Go cracking if you're a crip out here in these streets.
We gone. And remember, shoot the club up, fellas.